Good morning to you. It's Daybreak at iFiber One News Radio. We focus on Shelton Thursdays at this time, brought to you by our Community Credit Union. I've got two great guests in studio, Shelton Police Chief Darren Moody and from the Shelton Police Department, Charles Taylor. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on the air with me here today.
My pleasure.
Chief, let's start with you. I kind of want to just get your thoughts on that Shelton Out Loud event. It was good to see a pretty decent turnout from the community to talk in the first kind of one of these where you're really able to ask some good open questions, and you guys were all up on the stage there and took some shots, but you were, it was a good, I thought it was a really good interaction, good back and forth with the citizens that were there.
Yeah, it was. Anytime you can get that many people involved in the community like this, it's a good day.
Yeah.
Do we take shots? Absolutely, but that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
We're here for them to voice their opinion of what's going on and for us to make adjustments or tell them what's going on. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff that comes out is people just don't know.
Sure.
You know, unless we tell them what we're doing, then they don't see it.
Right.
And, you know, I get it all the time. People will call and say, I never see a patrol car come up down my street. Well, you're not sitting out there 24 hours a day waiting for a patrol car to come up down the street. So things get done. You know, there's some things we got to work on. And code enforcement was obviously
that was a big
hot topic. And we knew when we brought back code enforcement and brought back animal control that it needed to be done. A lot of times that's what people worry about. Like when we did our traffic enforcement last week, it's those quality of life issues. It's speeding cars on my street, pedestrian safety, code enforcement issues, you know, my neighbor's yard. Those are big problems.
Talk to me about the Business Watch. We talked about Neighborhood Watch, but some questions were brought up about the safety and security of the downtown area, and you says, well, one good way to do this is to have a Business Watch.
I met with the downtown group twice since I've been here, trying to get them together to do this. And one of the reasons was brought up at that meeting. Well, somebody says, well, I should be emailing the businesses every time there's a crime that occurs at the businesses. Well, I don't have all the business emails, contacts,
Sure.
et cetera.
Yeah.
Even I don't know every crime that happens every hour. But if you form a group like Neighborhood Watch or Business Watch and you all share emails, and we're part of that email strand, when you have those questions or things come up, we're going to let you know. So it's just more of a networking group where everybody's got the same contacts because, you know, when something does happen, there was a business that gets broken into. I get heard the business was robbed. Well, robbery is when somebody walks in with a gun and points it in your face. It wasn't robbed. It was in the middle of the night. I heard they lost, you know, $1 million. It turns out they didn't lose anything. Let me tell you what so get the truth out there so everybody hears the facts.
How are we gonna get one of these going? Do we is it again the business owners, the business proprietors have to get together first and say we're going to do this and then come to you or someone in the
you tell me when and where and I'll be at the meeting.
Okay.
And we'll get it together. And like I said, our Neighborhood Watch, basically all they've done is share emails. And so the other day I got an email from one out in Springfield Loop that I share with the officers that says, hey, Springfield Loop saying there's a suspicious vehicle that's shown up a couple times. I forward it to these guys, and then they have the information.
Something happens. Very nice. All right, let's talk about last night. And Charles, I know you were involved with this.
Yes, sir.
How did this all kind of come about and work? And are these standard over so many, you know, every year or so, every couple years you do these types of things? How do you want to start with this?
Charlie, you've been here for what, 2 years now?
Yes, sir.
Is this the first one we've done with DLC? I think.
The first one in-house with DLC, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we obviously know the jail booking situation.
Yeah.
Department of Corrections, if you're out on parole and you violate the terms of that parole, a warrant is issued and Department of Corrections need to get you back in custody. But unfortunately, they weren't able to book him at Mason County. And their staffing didn't allow, if they take and go arrest this person, now they're driving and booking in Nisqually, which takes them off the street for 3 hours. So they're pretty limited on how many they can do in any given time.
Yeah.
And so we met with them and discussed this. And we said, hey, how about we provide manpower, you provide transport and help us get back forth to Nisqually and book them over there in Thurston. And I have to say it was a success. It was. I left last night at 6 o'clock, and they were making one more arrest as I left.
Is there, and you can stop me wherever if there's confidential things that you need to keep private, but is there a list that you guys are working off and you go house to house to house, or do groups go to multiple houses at the same time and all get the person at the same time, or?
Well, they prioritize, but I'll let Charles kind of explain how they went about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Sure. So we met up in the morning and we had a briefing and we discussed a list of warrants that they had and an order to which we were gonna go serve those warrants. We tried to start in the city first and then branch out towards the outskirts of the city and serve those warrants, knock on doors and serve the warrants.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't break up into teams. We thought it would be more effective to go as a single solid large unit to these locations. That way we can cover all entrances and windows and sides of the buildings and knock and hope someone comes to the door. So.
And that's kind of how it goes. You just go up to the front door, knock on it. Hopefully that person answers.
Absolutely.
Somebody
Yep.
answers, and they say, "Where is this person?" And
Well, the one we had last night as I was leaving, I think you guys had tried unsuccessfully at 2 different locations to get him. We got a call in saying, "Hey, the guy you were looking for is home." We went to the house. The family refused to answer the door. So while we're in the process of writing a warrant to get in the house, we announced that we were coming in one way or the other, and they came out.
oh,
So, out of all of this, everybody was arrested basically without incident and referred back to DOC custody.
was that phone call from a neighbor or family member telling him that the
It was a
person is
concerned citizen.
concerned citizen? Okay.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when you're serving these warrants, people come out and they're curious as to what's going on,
Yeah.
and they'll give you information, and they'll say, "Yeah, I just saw that fella go in there, or that subject go in there about 10 minutes ago or last night." So, it kind of fills in the gaps for us and lets us know, what the likelihood is that they're actually inside. So.
Is this going to continue on with the help of the DOC, or if the jail beds situation here corrects itself, that we're anticipating but not quite there yet? Is that going to continue on with these sweeps, or just kind of a one-by-one basis?
Like I said when I put out the press information, is we'll continue them as the need is there, as the crime and community dictate. I think it's a great partnership. I think they have less staffing to deal with all of these folks. You may have a parole officer out there that supervises 30 parolees. He or she can't keep track of them that tight.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps to have the law enforcement partnerships that we have to be able to do this for them.
Very interesting.
The jail situation isn't going to correct itself.
No, we gotta
So-
get some movement on that one for sure. And
Yeah.
I think we have potential talks down the road when some things happen in there. Hopefully.
Yeah, people need to get over what's going on and just figure out a way to move forward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious the area needs a new jail. So how do we get to that point?
Mhm.
Let's forget about the past and move forward with how we get to that point.
How much interaction would you have on this? If it would be a county jail, how much input would they ask of you in the city? I mean, being the only incorporated city, or the chief, things like
Well,
that.
I mean, they don't have to ask any input of us. But I think on a smaller scale, this type of operation and this type of partnerships are indicative of what we need to do.
Yeah.
We can't do it ourselves. They can't do it themselves. Why not think outside the norm, and let's form some partnerships here and go forward with this. Between all the resources in this whole area, you're telling me that we can't come together at a table and go, okay, how do we get here?
Yeah.
And I think, again, it's the digging in heels and what we can and can't do. And Charles knows I hate to hear, because we've always done it that way.
Yeah.
We got to find new ways of doing things, and that includes everybody.
Well, it was encouraging to talk with you a couple years in. Now, interesting to note that you're the most senior leader on the team there in the city, a couple years in. But it's good to see a nice, fresh, forward-looking perspective coming out of the city. And I think, good things. I talk with people on the street all the time. They get a good vibe. They get a good sense of the community. Despite some of the troubles we have, things are looking up.
We all have troubles. We all have issues that we'll have to face. But I have to say, under Ryan's leadership at the city in the last year, it's been a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I mean, we're moving forward faster and at a better service rate than we have in years. And it's a good thing.
Yeah. Very nice. Darren Moody, Shelton Police Chief. Charles Taylor with the Police Department. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you again. Good to see you. Are you the judge, one of the judges for Oyster Fest cooking
As a
competition?
matter of fact, I am.
Good.
Are you cooking?
No, I'm emceeing. Hopefully I'll get a chance to try some of it.
When they asked me, I said, look, I'm not an expert in this. And they said, this is the amateur cook-off. Do you like seafood? I said, I'm in.
Then you're in. All right. Very good. We'll see you at Oyster Fest this
All
upcoming
right.
weekend.